Going on, fellas? How's everybody doing? Little update on the Coral Sea build, Lexington Lady Lex Memorial. Update. We had a problem in the directions. I'll point that out to you guys, so that if somebody else has this kit and is building it, well, this is what I found as a problem. This little console right here, where they have you glue it up into here, you know, they just got the line that goes anywhere, or put it wherever you think, because there's no attachment, you know what I mean? There's no slot or anything like that. You just put it up in there. Well, there's a problem later on in the directions when you have to put the piece in behind the pilot's bulkhead. But yeah, the pilot's bulkhead, this piece right here, this piece here that goes up underneath, well, it hits that console. You're better off putting this in first and then put that console in, because I ended up putting it in the like they tell you in the directions, and when I got to this part, I couldn't get this thing to sit in right because it kept hitting that console. So once I took the console out and got this in, this sat nice and flush like it was supposed to, and then there's still room for the console, but like I said, I had to do it opposite of the way I followed the directions and ended up screwing myself. So that's the glitch. That's the one glitch that I can find so far. There are actually a couple spots in here where things are marked wrong on the directions, and they actually tell you that they're marked wrong. I'll have to find those and highlight them so I can show them to you. But that's where I am with that. That's the glitch on that. I'll show you what I got for progress. My interior is all finished now. That's all done and ready to go in. I got to shove it up from underneath. I got my pilot seat in with my my seat belts all made. I make my seat belts from, I use surgical tape. The white surgical tape looks just like the seat belt stuff, and it's already sticky. So you just leave a little one side hanging a little longer with sticky, and it sticks by itself. No super glue or nothing. So that's how I do mine. And if in some spots, if I have a tough time with it, I will use double-sided tape. That works just as well. Because this is all going to be buttoned up, and nobody's going to be playing with it or anything. So that's what that is. And here's the view from underneath. Yeah, you see where that bulkhead is way up top there? Well, that little console that sticks off the side is the one that you have problems with. Don't put that in until after you got that bulkhead up and in there. So, but yeah, that's what we got so far. I'm probably have this all put together. Here was a fun part too, guys. That is the rear gunner's chair. That was 2, 4, 6, 7 pieces, I think. And I drilled out all the little holes. I can't even pick it up, it's so delicate. I drilled out all the holes that were in that. That's where the gun mount goes. So that'll be fun. I'll be doing that next. Today, for history, I thought that I would read Lieutenant Lepler's Navy Cross citations. There are 2. He got one for service in March of 1942, and then he got one for the Battle of the Coral Sea. That was awarded to him posthumously because in October of that year, 1942, he died. He was declared missing in action and eventually killed. So, without further ado, John Lepler became first off, his date of birth was May 7th, 1916, in Lima, Ohio. He became a World War II Navy ace, credited with shooting down 5 enemy aircraft in aerial combat before he was shot down himself on October 26, 1942, and declared missing in action. His first Navy Cross citation reads as follows. The President of the United States of America takes pleasure in presenting the Navy Cross to Ensign John Arthur Lepler, United States Navy, for extraordinary heroism in operations against the enemy while serving as pilot of a carrier-based Navy scouting plane in Scouting Squadron 2 attached to the USS Lexington, in action against enemy Japanese forces over enemy-controlled waters near now, pardon me if I don't pronounce these right, but Lae, Lea, and Saramalaua, New Guinea, on 10 March 1942. Ensign Lepler pressed home in the face of heavy anti-aircraft fire, a vigorous and determined dive-bombing attack on enemy ships, and as a result of this attack, at least one ship was sunk. His outstanding courage, daring airmanship, and determined skill were at all times inspiring and in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Lieutenant Lepler's second Navy Cross citation reads as follows. The President of the United States of America takes pleasure in presenting a Gold Star in lieu of a second award of the Navy Cross to Ensign John Arthur Lepler, United States Navy, for your extraordinary heroism in operation against the enemy while serving as pilot of a carrier-based Navy scouting plane of Scouting Squadron 2 attached to the USS Lexington, in action against enemy Japanese forces during the air battle of the Coral Sea on 7 and 8 May 1942. On 7 May, Ensign Lepler participated in a dive-bombing attack on an enemy Japanese aircraft carrier and contributed materially to the destruction of that vessel. On 8 May, as a member of the Anti-Torpedo Plane Patrol, he faced severe fighter opposition to make repeated and fast assaults against attacking enemy planes. His courageous and determined action in this engagement resulted in the destruction of 3 enemy aircraft and was in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. So, he was what, 26 years old? 1916 to 1942, that's 26 years, correct? 26 years old. Think about that. That's why I build military guys. So, because every time when I build a military thing, I look it up and I see what was involved and I see what was going on with it. And you have to understand that we get to do what we get to do because they did what they did. Okay? Especially World War II guys. There's none higher in my book than World War II guys. None. I respect all veterans. Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan. I respect all veterans. Because my dad was a World War II vet. But the World War II vets, those guys are the best. And that's why I build military. Excuse me. So, my project today is hopefully I can get this cockpit all wrapped up. I've already had it test fitted, and surprisingly, I put everything in the right spot because everything fits. But now I got to try to get this rear gunner's seat in. This should be fun. And then it's basically motor, tires, and then, planes, paint, and decals. That's what makes it. So, I might have to go to the hobby shop. I don't think I have the right color gray for the top. Gray-blue. So, 10 seconds, boys. Enjoy your day. It's beautiful up out here. Peace out, guys.